Since the last Mario Strikers update is going to come in the next few weeks, then I wanted to do some predictions before it comes out. So first, let's start with the characters. I still believe that the most likely characters that are coming in this update are Bowser Jr. and Koopa Troopa. In one hand, Bowser Jr. it's a very recognizable character and it's almost in every Mario Sports game, so it will be weird that it's not in Mario Strikers Battle League. And Koopa Troopa is also a character that is in a lot of Mario Sports games. Also, I saw a point made in a video that every time we get an update, the week before, there's a season on Strikers Club where the games have a certain item that we can use. Before the first update, the item was bombs, and the bombs are related to Shy Guy. The second update, the item was bananas, and bananas are related to Diddy Kong. And in this update, we actually got 2 shells and a banana. And guess what? Shells are related to Koopa Troopas and also kind of related to Bowser Jr. So yeah, I can see both being added. Also, something else to be noticed of is that Koopa Troopa is the only character in the crowd, in the public of the games, that it's not a playable character. For example, there's Yoshi, Toad, and Shy Guy, and Koopa Troopa on the crowd, but Yoshi, Toad, and Shy Guy are already playable, yet Koopa Troopa is not. Now, when it comes to the stats that each character could have, I really am lost since Pauline came out, because Pauline has some insane stats, right? 20 strength is something that I didn't expect it on a stat, having more than 17 or 18. I think 18 was like the biggest stat that we were ever going to see, but here we are now. So here are some, stats that they could have. Now, just as I mentioned, there are 3 items in these seasons of Strikers Club. So I don't know. That could be just because, right? They just wanted 3 items in this season rather than just 1, or it could mean that they are going to add 3 times the characters this time, or 3 times the content, since it is the last update that has been announced to us. So maybe this is the definitely last update, but they want to make it a big update. So if that's the case, I'm just going to say a lot of characters that I think it's possible that they add, and kind of like the archetype that they will fit in. First is Piri Piranha, and he is of course going to have a lot of strength, right? I don't really know about the rest of the stats. Then I also think that Beardo could be added. Beardo should be like a all-around character in my mind, but they could change that. Also, another 2 characters that could be added is Hammer Bro and Dry Bones. The only reason I don't put this instead of Koopa Troopa is because I think that in a game there has to be a Koopa Troopa, and if there's a Koopa Troopa, then it can be a Dry Bones or a Hammer Bro. But there cannot be a Hammer Bro and Dry Bones if there is not a Koopa Troopa, Yes, of course. Other characters could be like Dixie Kong and Toadette. Both of them could have a lot of speed and technique or something like that. And other characters that I think they could add but are pretty unlikely, I will say it is Kamek and maybe Aluma. I just think Aluma would be kind of like a weird character for a Mario Strikers game, and Kamek also. But yeah, they could be a lot of possibilities, and both of them would have a lot of technique, I imagine. Now, for the gear, I think it's pretty hard to predict the gear, but there's a pattern that I'm pretty sure I've recognized, and I think it's likely that they are going to add it. So, for example, the first gear that got introduced was the Night gear, right? And it boosts your strength by 8, and like the secondary stat that it boosts is shooting by 5. Then the Barrel gear, right? The second gear set that got introduced boosts your shooting by 8 and your passing by 5. Now, with this third gear, I predict that passing is going to be the like primary stat that it is going to boost. Like it is going to give you 8 points into passing and then 5 points into either speed or technique. Now for the stage, I think they could go a lot of routes. Like they could go a pirate ship, or they could go for a mountain rock or something like that, you know. And lastly, I just wanted to say some hopes that I have for the game. Like overall, I do like the gameplay, but I think that lately I've been drawn away a little bit for the game just because it's starting to become a little bit repetitive. Because, like for example, if you go to quick play, you can play soccer. If you go to cup battles, you can play soccer. If you go to Strikers Club, and you can play soccer, you know, it's just playing soccer and soccer and soccer. Like I like that I can try different team comps, and that almost in that there's not a game that is the same as the other, because I can choose different characters and different builds for the characters. But even then, it's a little, you know, repetitive. And I know that a lot of Strikers fans defend the game by saying that, hey, the other games also were just playing soccer. But I think that this game, what needs is something like, for example, Strikers Charge, where there could be a game mode where the stages go a little crazy, and for example, there are little hazards on the stages, like on the Luigi's Mansion stage, there could be boosts that mess with the ball at some point, or in the desert stage, there could be little tornadoes that boost you up and get one of your playmates out of the game for a little while. You know, some fun stuff that it's not highly competitive and that you can just mess around with. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for the prediction of this update. Bye.